All right, now we get to the cool stuff because this is stuff that arrays couldn't do. We're going to add values to an array list. Okay, so generally when you make an array, it's going to start out empty. Okay, so you have nothing. So we have our grocery list, and so we go, okay, I'm going to add an object. Now, by default, if you just add an object to a list, it's just going to stick it on the end. Okay, it's we go, oh, here's the first thing in my list, and then here's the next thing, and then here's the next thing. So I add milk, boom, it's on my list at the end. And then if I add toilet paper, that's going to come next on my list. Then if I add hand sanitizer, that's going to come next. We have another option for adding. This method is overloaded. If you give an integer and an object, it's going to insert that object at a certain place in the list. So for example, if I add baby wipes at index 1, it's going to put it there instead of over here at the end of the list. Now, when you do that, everything moves to the right. That was there or rightward. Okay. So again, if you just do regular add, it just puts it in the list. That's generally what we're going to be using. But occasionally we're going to basically want to insert inside the list, and then we need to give the index and the object. We can also remove values from an array list. Again, this is something that you couldn't do with an array. So we just give the index. So again, if this is my list and I do remove 2, okay, here's 0, 1, 2, it's going to remove toilet paper. And this is going to be my new list. If I do grocery list.remove 2, it's going to remove hand sanitizer. You'll notice it's the same index, but since everything has moved, it's removing a different thing this time. If I try to do grocery list.remove 3, I'm going to get an out of bounds error because nothing is living here over at index 3. Okay. I forgot to mention this method also has a return type E. Again, in case you're removing it, but you want it not to be in the list anymore, but you want to save it somewhere else in memory, it'll return it in case you want to save it somewhere before you get rid of it entirely. All right. Before we start looping through these array lists, we need to know how to find the size, the length. Okay, so something a little confusing. There's two confusing things. First of all, instead of length, the method name is size. Also, it's not a variable this time, and so we are going to have to put these parentheses. Even though there aren't any parameters, we still need to indicate that we're calling a method. So grocery list.size would be 4.